Alright guys, now we're going to get started with the next lesson, lesson 6.4, adding and subtracting polynomials. So real quick, this is just a general overview of things that you need to make sure that you're accomplishing for today. So you have to do the quick check-in on Schoology. So that's kind of like your entrance ticket for today. I do have it set up as a quiz, but it's obviously just going to be counted as an entrance ticket. The next thing is that you guys should have just already done is reviewed your skills in lesson 6.3. Remember, it was a separate assignment that I posted for you guys. Now I'm going to walk you guys through lesson 6.4. Again, this is going to be a voiceover lesson, so make sure your sound's on. The note sheet is posted for you guys to follow along with. You can print it out. You can use DocHub. You can take your own digital or your own printed notes, whatever you want to do. And then you will have a bookwork assignment for you guys to practice the skills. And then finally, to end the lesson, will be an exit ticket for you to complete by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the 7th. So, looking at this, what you guys are going to be able to accomplish today is add and subtract polynomials. So, just as you can perform operations on numbers, you can perform operations on polynomials. Simply to add and subtract, you're going to combine like terms. So remember, like terms are 3x and 5x. Then you could have like negative 21x squared and 5x squared. Okay, you could just have 4 and 3. You could just have y and y. They would all be like terms. But would 3x squared and 10x be considered like terms? Think about it. The answer is no. So those two are not like terms. Okay, now why would that be? So if you were saying to yourself that they're not like terms, it's because they have different exponents, okay? So this has an exponent of 2, and this one, in this case, would have an exponent of 1, okay? So they would not be like terms. Also, x and y, are those like terms? No, they're two different variables, okay? So again, those ones are not like terms either. So you guys are going to be combining like terms in order to add and subtract polynomials. So this is just one thing for you guys to remember. They have to be the same variable raised to the same power. So looking at the first set of examples, adding and subtracting monomials. So if you guys notice, it's really easy with these first few because all you're going to do is combine like terms. So you have 12p cubed plus an 8p cubed. And then you have this plus 11p squared. Well, first I have to combine these. So 12p cubed plus 8p cubed gives me 20p cubed plus, just bring down the 11p squared. Okay? And you just simply did that one. So if you look at letter B now, you have 5x squared minus 6 minus 3x plus 8. So you just have to combine the negative 6 and the positive 8. So that's going to become 5x squared minus 3x plus 2. And there you have it. So the one thing you want to keep in mind when you're working with these is you should combine your like terms first and then write them in standard form. So first you want to combine like terms, and then second write in standard form. And then remember, standard form is from the highest exponent to the smallest. Okay? So I'm going to go through a few more examples with you guys. If I am going too fast at any point, you can pause the video to copy anything down. But going through the next set of examples. So adding and subtracting. If you look at letter C now, you're going to notice that you have two different variables. So you have the variable t, but you also have this variable s. okay? And you can combine like terms. Now, as mathematicians, we like to write in alphabetical order. So for me, I'm going to do the S's first. So if I do my S's first, let me get rid of them. I'm going to have positive 2s squared and then a negative s squared. So that's like saying 2s squared minus s squared. So I'm just going to write that off to the side for you guys. And that just gives me 1s squared. So I'm just going to write s squared. And then going through t's, I have positive t squared and then negative 4t squared. So really that's like positive t squared minus 4t squared. Combining those like terms, you get negative 3t squared. And then that would be your final answer for adding those two together. Alright, looking at this next one, you're going to notice you have three terms. So what I notice is they both have m's and n's, so I need to make sure that the exponents all match up too. Well, I have an m squared, an m squared, and m squared, so I'm good so far. And then I have n, n, n. So all three of these terms are considered like terms, so all I have to do is add them together. So 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. So I have 6 m squared n. And there you have it. Alright. Now, like always, it's your turn. So pause the video right now. Try these 4 problems. And then when you're ready and you're done all 4, press play again and the answers will be there for you. Okay, so now we're going to be getting into adding and subtracting polynomials, where they're going to be having different numbers of terms. So in order to do that, there's 2 methods that you can use. You can either use the vertical method, which is straight up and down. And one thing good with this is you can align the like terms. So what that means is like your x squared terms would be on top of each other. Just your x terms are on top of each other, and then finally your constants. So that's what it means by aligning. You want all of the terms to match up in terms of exponents. Now, the other form is horizontal form, and this is kind of like what we've been doing with the combining like terms. So what they do with horizontal form is, if you notice, is that they combine all of the like terms first. So they combine all the like terms first, and then they simplify. Okay, so this is the start. This is where they combine like terms. Oh, ran out of space. So combine like terms, and then this is where they simplify. Okay, so you can pick either method that you want to do. I'm going to walk you through both so that you can see how they're both done. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to choose the first method first, so that means I'm going to align and go in the vertical form. So I'm going to do vertical first. So the first one, I have 4m squared plus 5, and then I have m squared minus m plus 6. Well, if I notice, this one here is missing an m term. So I still need to have a placeholder for that. So in terms of that term now, I'm just going to put a 0. So if you said 0 to yourself, you're correct. So if I have 4m squared plus 0m plus 5, and then I'm adding that to m squared minus m plus 6. So now I have all of the terms aligned, so all I have to do is add straight down. So 5 plus 6 is 11, and it's positive. 0m plus a negative m, so that's just negative m. 4m squared plus m squared gives me 5m squared. And that's your final answer. So just adding straight down. Now I'm going to show you with the horizontal method as well. So just take in the original problem now, group the terms that are similar. So you have 4m squared and m squared. So then that's going to become 4m squared plus m squared plus, you just have that negative m term. Okay, so there's just one of them. And then you have to add 5 plus 6. Okay, and then just simplify. So if I simplify now, 4m squared plus m squared gives me 5m squared minus m, it's the only term there, and then 5 plus 6 is positive 11. And there's your final answer. So if you notice, no matter which way you do it, you get the same answer. So for letter B, let's think about this. Which method do you want to use? We're going to go horizontal this time, I think. So looking at it, grouping your terms. So 10xy minus 3xy plus, now you just have x plus y. Okay, so now simplifying, 7xy plus x plus y. And there's your final answer. So some of you might be wondering what variable term you write first. In this case, I just chose the one where they're combined, and then I went in alphabetical order. But if you have something along this lines, you're okay. So we're going to jump over to the next slide. So this one now, and just for practice purposes, I'm going to choose to go to the vertical method. Now, before I get started though, I'm noticing that I'm having some like terms over here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is to combine those like terms. So I'm just going to rewrite this first polynomial plus, and now the second polynomial is going to become 3x squared minus 8x, so that gives me negative 5x squared. And then I have a positive 3y and a negative 2y, so that gives me positive y. And again, like I said, I'm going to do the vertical method. So I'm going to write the first polynomial first, and then I'm going to add the second polynomial. So I have a negative 5x squared plus y. And all of my terms align. So now just adding straight down, negative 4y and positive y is negative 3y. 6x squared minus 5x squared, so that just gives me x squared. So for a final answer, I have x squared minus 3y. Alright, one more before I have you guys try. So here we go. Ooh, dun dun dun! Fractions. So you guys can pick whatever method you want to do. I'm just going to go in the vertical method for you guys because I think a lot of you are probably going to like that method. Again, it doesn't matter what method you choose. Just choose the method that works best for you. Alright, so now I'm just going to add straight down. So 2 plus 5 is 7, and it's positive. B minus 4b, so that's negative 3b. And then I have 1/2 plus 3/2. So remember, fractions, you need common denominators, which I have. So 1 plus 3 just gives me 4/2 a squared. And then looking at it, I know I can simplify 4/2, so that becomes 2a squared minus 3b plus 7. And there's your final answer. Alright, so now what I'm going to have you guys do is work on some new tries. Actually, just one. So, pause the video right now and try it, and then when you're finished with it, press play again. Okay, so up until now, we have just simply been working with addition. So now we're going to get into the subtracting part. So, with subtracting, we have kind of already talked about this. So to subtract polynomials, remember that subtracting is the same thing as adding the opposite. So let's say we had 5 minus 4. Okay, so adding the opposite means you would keep the first number, change subtraction to addition, and then flip the sign of the second number. So that really becomes negative 4. Okay, so that's what it means with adding the opposite. So to find the opposite of a polynomial, one thing to keep in mind is you're going to be multiplying this negative 1. So remember, if it doesn't have 1, give it 1 to all of the terms. So essentially, you're applying what property? If you said distributive, you're correct. Because if you notice, these all changed from the signs that they had in here to the opposite. And that's what you're going to be doing now. And that's going to have to be the first step before you can even simplify. So let's look at this first one, which ends up being a little bit easier for you guys. So you have x cubed plus 4y minus 2x cubed. Just for the purposes of practicing, we're going to distribute this negative 1 in. So now rewriting this term, it becomes x cubed plus 4y. So since you distributed it in, it becomes plus, and this is negative 2x cubed. Okay, and then simplifying, so combining like terms, these two are like terms, so that gives us negative x cubed plus 4y. And I'm sure many of you didn't need to do the distributing right now. It was just for purposes of showing you guys. So the next problem is actually going to require us to do that step. So if you notice, you have 7m to the fourth minus 2m squared minus now all of 5m to the fourth minus 5m squared plus 8. So taking this negative value, distributing it to all of your terms. The first one I'm just going to bring down, so you have 7m to the fourth minus 2m squared, and then negative times a positive. So this middle sign becomes plus. This is now going to become negative 5m to the fourth. Negative times the negative gives us positive 5m squared. And then negative times a positive gives us negative 8. Okay? And now you can either choose the horizontal or you can choose the vertical method to simplify these. I'm just going to do the horizontal method. So just combining like terms. So that's going to give me 2m to the fourth. And then next would come a cube term if you have one, which we don't have. So you guys can also cross these out after you deal with them, so then you know that they've been taken care of. So next I notice I have a negative 2m squared and a positive m squared, 5m squared. So that gives me positive 3m squared. And then I have my minus 8. And there's your final answer with subtracting. So remember, it's really important to do this distributing of the negative 1 first. The subtraction sign now becomes addition. And then you just have to combine like terms. Alright, we're going to apply this again. So, rewrite the first. Now distribute this negative in. Since I'm doing that, this center becomes addition. This becomes negative x squared plus 9. And now I'm just going to do the vertical method for people that like that. So negative 10x squared minus 3x plus 7 plus, so I have negative x squared. I notice I don't have any x terms, so I write plus 0x plus 9. Alright, adding straight down, so 7 plus 9 is a positive 16. Negative 3x and 0x is negative 3x. Negative 10x squared and negative x squared, so negative 11x squared. And there you have it. Alright, one last final example before I ask you guys to do one. So, here we go. Distributing in the negative 1, you get 9q squared minus 3q plus q squared plus q squared, look at me making a mistake, plus a negative q squared plus 5. Okay, so combine your like terms. Here we go. So that gives us 8q minus 3q plus 5. And there's your final answer. Alright, so pause the video and try the next one. Alright, there you have it. So remember, a positive one and a negative one, they end up canceling out because they just give you 0. Alright, here we go. The next part for today is word problems. So, nothing to stress about. You're still going to use the same skills. So, reading through it, take a moment right now, read it to yourselves. Alright, and then highlight the important parts for yourself. So, when you read it, you should have seen that it says the farmer must add the areas, so area is important here, of 2 plots of land to determine the amount of seed to plant. The area of plot A, so I have plot A, which is represented by 3x squared plus 7x minus 5. And then I have plot B, which is represented by 5x squared minus 4x plus 11. I have to write a polynomial that represents total area of both plots of land. So in order to do that, you're going to just have to do what between your two areas that you're given to find the total area. So if you said add them together, you're 100% correct. So pick whichever method you want. I'm just going to go vertical in this case, and I'm just going to add the two together. It's as simple as that. Alright, adding straight down. Negative 5 plus 11 is positive 6. 7x minus 4x is positive 3x. 3x squared plus 5x squared is 8x squared. So this 8x squared plus 3x plus 6 is going to represent your total area. Simple enough? That's right. Alright, here we go. Your turn. Take a moment and try it. Pause the video. Alright, again, you were asked to find the total profits. So you had to add the two values you were given in order to get your total profit. Alright, that's the end of lesson 6-4. So, what you guys need to do now is, please make sure you complete the exit ticket that I posted on Schoology for you guys. In addition, you guys have essentially a homework assignment, mainly additional practice for you guys, page 417, number 17 to 31 odd. And then next week, I'll have a check-in for you guys, so then you guys can check your work, and then I can see that you guys actually did it. So right now, what you guys should do is exit out of this video and go over to Schoology and fill in the exit ticket that I have posted for you guys. Just so you guys are aware, I will be having office hours tomorrow. So if you are struggling with the material, make sure you make a point to look at the Schoology updates page and you attend my office hours to get any questions. Other than that, guys, have a great day.